My name is Tim Reid, film actor, director, producer, and, from the U.S. My studio is in Petersburg, Virginia, the studio. I got into film by my work in television. I've been in front of the camera as an actor for almost 40 years now. Got various series around the world, WKRP in Cincinnati, Sister, Lady 70 Show, Frank's Place, Simon, France, Simone and Simone, and also produced quite a few shows, and found that there was a need in my soul to have more control over my image, and I decided to go into producing. And I produced a few shows for television, network shows. I produced about 8 movies, and decided that in order to have even more control, to build my own studio. Recently, I've been doing a lot of documentaries on the history of the African diaspora, and that is my main focus right now, is to begin to chronicle the incredible history of the African diaspora, not just in America, although I do quite a few in America. I also travel to Cuba, Brazil, Germany, England, Africa. I'm doing a lot of work in Cape Verde, Africa, on the transatlantic slave trade. I find it amazing, the history of people of African descent who have been traveling way before the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, BC, the history of the Nubian Empire, of all these incredible journeys that people of African descent have been having and affecting history. Macau, China. I mean, you can go. I was in the Marshall Islands, over in the South Pacific, and I was on a plane with some people who were going home, and I looked at them, and they looked like they were from Detroit. I'm going, how do black people get to the Marshall Islands? I mean, the outreach of the African diaspora is incredible. And we need to begin to tell the story. Well, I'm a bit frustrated by people of African descent who seem to always operate from the point of victim. We're always very much angry, and we respond in anger and rage based on our vision of ourselves as victims. We're always saying the man is doing this, and if we had better this. Well, I'm of the belief that you have to act as a conqueror. You have to act as a victim, not a victim. You have to understand that the people of African descent are beyond any other race in the world today, well, parallel to the Jews, as being survivors. We have survived the greatest Holocaust known to man. For 400 years, they have tried to annihilate people of African descent, and we're still here. That says something. That's a value. And I think that you have to start looking at yourself in a positive way. And what better way to do that than through media? And I'm just frustrated by it constantly. Last night I was in a session at this film festival I attended, the I Will Tell Film Festival, and a young lady said, you know, here we are today, and we are as bad as it was 40 years. We have less, the same thing. And I said, you're wrong. I personally know 5 black billionaires, personally. 2 of them are women. A guy just signed a contract for $100 million to throw a ball 50 yards. And so there's more money in the hands of people of African descent than since the time of Solomon. Angola has oil. Guinea-Bissau has oil. We have the resources within our own reach. But as long as we see ourselves as victims, we won't be able to capitalize on the resources that we have. So my thing is, through television, through documentaries, is to begin to reinforce in us the power that we have. There really isn't an Afro-American film industry. There's an illusion of one, but with the exception of Tyler Perry, there really isn't a black American film industry. What we basically do in America is entice the system to give us an opportunity to do our work. So we're more concerned with being in contract with the studio. We're more concerned with being a part of the system as opposed to creating an independent system. And that frustrates me And those of us who have attempted, and again, my props to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry will go down in history as probably the most successful African-American filmmaker in the history of film. So people argue about his work, and I don't get into that. As a businessman, remember it's show business. As a businessman, he has no peer. As a show, as a filmmaker, he has many peers. I mean, he will become better, but with the exception of Tyler Perry, and even including myself, although I have a studio, I didn't make it work the way Tyler Perry has made his work. However, I am probably more independent in my mind than Tyler Perry, in that I want to own all of my content. I want to distribute it myself. As much as I am pleased with what Lionsgate is doing with black material, I don't need a Lionsgate. I want to become the Lion. So I want my own distribution system. And that's what separates a lot of American filmmakers from, let's say, what's happening here in England. In England, the desire is to control distribution. And I feel that. And that's why I keep coming here and associating myself with Screen Nation, all these people who are trying to do just that. And I think that that's the future of filmmaking. A few years ago, I started coming to the BFM, and it no longer exists. The wonderful magazine is gone. The film festival that they had for many years, I put films in. I actually picked up films to distribute from the BFM Film Festival, and I was very much amazed and excited to see the incredible passion for filmmaking that exists in England among young filmmakers. If you look at American film, some of the finest actors of the last few years have come from England. As a matter of fact, I would say the top 5 actors, and female actors really, have come from England. I think the next crop of fantastic filmmakers will come out of England. Nigerian descent, or whatever, Ghana, wherever, but England is giving. And why is that? Well, it's not because England has embraced them. It's because the pressures and challenges that England has forced on them has made them go in and drive from passion. Black filmmakers in America are not passionate about filmmaking, they're passionate about being successful. You gotta be passionate about filmmaking. You gotta understand the power of propaganda. You gotta understand the power of your message. You gotta begin to shape your message with a purpose. English filmmakers understand that. American black filmmakers don't. They're more interested in keeping it real. What is real? You have to define real. They don't want to define real. They want to capitalize off of what is real. English filmmakers want to define real, and that's the part of the business of